What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to 10 brand new FIFA 20 card type concepts. That is right, I've got together 10 card types, some of them from you guys. I tweeted out about it a couple of days ago, some of them just my own personal cards that I would love to see in the game in FIFA 20. Hopefully some of them we will see, some of them are more about of a dream. Before we get into today's video, guys, if you could drop a thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. If you're enjoying the FIFA 20 content, make sure you sub and hit that bell. And before we get into the video, the last 4 days, people have been suggesting or almost complaining that they can hear like a cricket noise in headphones. But it's only a very select amount of people, and I can't hear it. So I don't know what's causing the audio issue. So if you do experience the audio issue, please let me know in the comment section below what device you're listening from and what headphones you have to see if I could try and figure out where the problem is coming from. Because for like, I'd say about 98% of people that I've asked, they can't hear it, but 2% of people can hear it. So there you go. So the first card we've got, guys, is the La Liga Player of the Month. I know the card type was introduced last year and EA never used it. But it would be amazing, of course, to have La Liga Player of the Month. Lionel Messi, Antoine Griezmann, they've been mainstay winners of that. Iago Aspas as well. Luke, aka Daily Render, made these card types, and then my other graphics guy, Matt, has put together some of the slides for us here today. So thank you to those two for helping us. But La Liga Player of the Month, very simple, doesn't need describing. Whoever wins Player of the Month in La Liga gets a La Liga Player of the Month card. Happy days. All right, guys, so moving on to the second card. I would love to see something that was in the game back in FIFA 09, and that is a pro club / virtual pro version of yourself. What the way this card would work is you would start relatively low, you know, like a mid-tier gold, a 76, a 78, something like that. You would be able to put yourself at any position, any nationality, and you would essentially have the icons link. So EA could introduce a new league, Pro Clubs League, or I don't know, just a new league where all of the virtual pro cards are assigned to, and they literally will link in the same fashion as icons. So they'll just link to everybody. So you could play with yourself. You could play with your own version of your own self in FIFA. Like I say, they had this in FIFA 09. And it was a brilliant addition. I don't know why they removed it. Every time I kind of bring this one up, because I've talked about this many times over the years, some people are against it, some people are for it. What I would suggest is that EA will allow this card to be upgraded via milestones, via seasonal objectives, and then maybe via special SBCs. And they will keep it so that it's capped at a maximum. So it's not like after 1 week of somebody spamming offline, they can have like a 95 rated virtual pro. Eventually, towards the back end of the game, team of the season and footies period, yes, EA will allow more and more milestones added into the game and more seasonal objectives added into the game that will continually upgrade you. But they're going to be hard to achieve. You're not just going to get given a late game 95 rated card or a mid-game 88 rated card or an early game 86 rated card. You're going to have to work for them. So for example, we've got on the screen here, play 250 games for a +2 overall, which will not only give a +2 overall, will give +2 inform boost. And so you can see by the card we've got there, we've got 2 more pace, 4 more shooting, and 4 more passing. And that's because after scoring 100 goals, it would give 2 more shooting. And after getting 100 assists, it would give 2 more passing. And if you make your player as a goalkeeper, getting 100 clean sheets will give it, +5 in handling, and so on and so forth. And once you've completed these milestones, EA can release newer milestones. So, assist 250 goals for another +2 in passing, or a seasonal objective of win 10 FUT Champions games with your virtual pro in the starting 11 for a +1 overall. Things like that would make me so attached to the card to continually grow the card and improve my own self that I could imagine I would just play more FIFA just because of this card. Next up, guys, is a Team Builders card. Now, the idea of Team Builders was given to me by a viewer on Twitter. I tweaked it a little bit to something that I felt was more appropriate, because what I've tried to do with these cards that we have on offer here today is I've tried to put them in so that they could actually be implemented into the current FIFA ecosystem, and not something that's fantasy that EA would have to code a whole bunch of crazy things for, but something that would actually work. And so the team builders card, as you can see, they're special cards released with traits that boost other cards. For example, Virgil van Dijk could have a dominator trait, which means that everybody that links to him, he gives 5 defending to, but these have also a negative impact where they reduce 5 shooting. So Virgil van Dijk as a centre-back would give 5 defending to the right-back, to the left centre-back, to the goalkeeper, which doesn't matter, and then to whatever midfielder he may be connected to. And that could be a positive, obviously, because for the defenders, you don't care if they get a reduction in 5 shooting, but for the defender, for the midfielder that he's connected to, it now has implications on, okay, what midfielder can you play there? What midfielder do you want to get that +5 defending boost, but do you not want to reduce 5 shooting? And you can do it with all sorts of positions. So you could have a striker could give +5 dribbling to anyone that he's connected to, but -3 passing. So you'll be like, okay, I don't mind connecting him to another striker in a cam, but do I really want to connect him to a left mid? You could also not have the negative impact on a card. I just think cards that kind of give bonuses and give boosts to other cards around them could be really fun and really unique, and could help take those certain players that are just not unusable, but on the borderline of, oh, this card's all right, but not amazing, and make them, good, usable, playable. Imagine you had a winger that gave +5 pace to a striker, and you're using, I don't know, Charlie Austin. And you're like, look, man, his physicals are good, his shooting's pretty good. I just can't use him because he's too slow. Well, boom, your left winger's now giving him +5 pace. It makes him a little bit better, a little bit more intricate to play with. I personally think it'll be a fun card to play with. I think a lot of people will take issue with this card type. A lot of people are like, oh, this is more boost. People don't need more boost. And I completely understand that perspective. But for me, Ultimate Team is a fantasy game mode that's supposed to be about fun and fun squad building. And I think a card type like Team Builders would be amazing, especially if you interlink like 3 or 4 Team Builders, boosting stats here, there, and everywhere. It could just be a lot of fun. Next up, guys, we have got Evo cards. Now, I didn't know what Evo cards were until viewers suggested it on Twitter. In NBA, at the start of the game cycle, you get given an Evo card. It's like a mid to low rated superstar. If I'm getting this right, I might be getting this wrong, but from what I understand is like you just get like a Ronaldo, a Messi, a Mbappe, or a Neymar, and you get to pick from one of them, but they're not their actual rating. They start a little bit lower, but you can upgrade them across the year via milestones and seasonal objectives. So very similar in a way to what the Virtual Pro card would be in FIFA. Let's say you pick your Evo Mbappe, and then throughout the course of the game cycle, play 500 games, it gives you a +2 overall. Score 500 goals, gives you +3 shooting. Get 1,000 assists, give you +4 passing. Go on, let's say, I don't know, win 150 FUT Champs games to get a +2 overall. And you might think, wait, 150 FUT Champs games? Okay, so some people are going to be able to do that a lot quicker than others, but that's the whole point, in my opinion, of the Evo cards and boosting them. Reward people for playing and grinding and getting involved, and to a degree reward people that are a little more skilled. And as long as the cards, as long as EA would get it right and make sure that the cards scale within keeping of the current highest rated cards in the game, you'd be fine. It would never be fun, or it would be fun for people that have it, but it would never be fun if, there's a 97 Evo Mbappe and the rest of the best cards in the game right now are like inform Harry Maguire's or inform Tarkovsky's, and it's just like, look, this just isn't fair. So as long as you're keeping the kind of the power creep or the power curve of the Virtual Pro and the Evo card within line of what is expected in FIFA at that current stage, I don't think there'd be any problem at all with this, and I think this would be an amazing card in the game. Next up, guys, was Club Talisman. This was one that was actually suggested to me. It was one that I think could be good but could be terrible at the same time. So essentially they would work in the same way as headliners work, so they would always remain 1 inform above the highest rated card of that specific card. However, Club Talisman cards wouldn't only stop at informs and man of the matches and stuff. They would also continue to team of the years and team of the seasons. They would stay ahead of any single special card that card has in the game, the club talisman card would always be the highest rated card. So if, let's say, Anthony Martial got an SBC for I don't know, a Europa League moments 5 years ago, you know what EA like in giving those cards, and it puts him up to like a 91. Now all of a sudden the talisman card goes up to a 92. The reason why this might not work is because selecting a top player from teams, there's a lot of teams. And so if they select some and not others, it could be very difficult. People could get upset. They could just pick out a 23-man team and be like, hey, this is a club talisman promo. Here are the 23 players that we picked. They work in the same fashion as headliners, everything that I just explained. But the problem is, much with headliners and one-to-watch cards, the problem is if they don't get any boosted cards throughout the year, it's a waste of a card. And I think EA could do better in terms of allowing cards to upgrade through other means for ones to watches and for headliners and stuff, rather than just through the other live items they have in the game. But I still think the club talisman card has potential. It could be brilliant. And it would be amazing to see that kind of promo in FIFA 20. So next up, guys, we've got ones to watches with a twist. I couldn't think of a cool name for these. This actually got suggested to me several times. And so what it is basically is a one-to-watch card that follows ultimately like the live form in head-to-head outside of Ultimate Team. So if Griezmann has a great game, a great week, and he goes up, even if he doesn't get an inform in FIFA Ultimate Team, his card, because he had a good week, still goes up. If the next week he has a bad week, it goes down. So it's a real big risk of a card that would fluctuate in price massively, a card that on one day could be absolutely insane, and then the next weekend you're like, well, I've got to take him out of my team now because he had a bad week in real life and he's trash. Obviously, this again would require a lot of work on EA's part of actually continually scaling the cards up and down, or maybe just up and up and up, or maybe just down and down and down. Let's say, for example, you take somebody like Danny Welbeck for Arsenal. He just didn't really have a great time at Arsenal. Okay, he was injury prone. He scored some good goals and scored some goals, but he would just continually drop down. And like I say, if you go into head to head, you can look at like the form, like it tracks all the form of the players in their real world and gives them boosts or like detrimental stats based on real world performances. If they just took some cards and tied the cards to those, I think this could be a lot of fun, because you could have some absolute dirtbag one to watch twist card and you're just like, you know, somebody who's just like really bad and then goes and has an insane season. For example, Jamie Vardy in Leicester's title winning season, he was like what, a 78 rated card or a 79 rated card if I remember correctly, at the start of the campaign. Let me actually go back and have a look. Let me go to his generations. So FIFA 16, he was a 71 rated silver, right? He then got a 75 rated upgrade. And then, of course, he had 2 informs, 1 hero card, and 1 team of the season card. Now, imagine you have like a 71 rated card that follows the live form. By the end of the campaign, he's going to be like a 93, a 94, a 95 rated card that you would have picked up for like 10,000 coins way back at the start of the game. I think this potential idea has a lot of merit. I think it could be a lot of fun. I just don't know if EA would ever really introduce it, because demoting cards, I think, might cause a lot of issues to casuals not really understanding why, hey, my 90 rated, let's say Suarez has just become an 87 rated Suarez, even though you can still get his 90 rated regular gold card on the market. People might get confused, but me personally, I think it would be pretty cool. Next up, guys, a goal of the week / goal of the month card. Very, very simple. Giving it to somebody who got either goal of the week or goal of the month. I think I'd prefer goal of the week, because what it would do is it would only give them a boost. It would give them an inform boost. I haven't really represented this on the card very well, but if Wilson got goal of the month, say, for that banging free kick that he scored, he'd get upgraded from a 74 to a 77. So he'd get the boost of that upgrade anyway. So his pace would go up to 82, his dribbling up to 78, his passing up to 75. But because it's for goal of the month or goal of the week, boost their shooting massively. Now, what this would cause is again, dilemma and choice in squad building. Because if Harry Wilson, for example, Is it Harry Wilson? It is Harry Wilson. Yeah, if Harry Wilson, there's a few Wilsons around, isn't there? If Harry Wilson, for example, won goal of the month 1, but also got an inform, and then 3 weeks later, another inform, and then an SBC card, you might be like, oh, do I want the 84 rated SBC Wilson, who has a little bit better pace, dribbling and passing, or do I want to go and get goal of the month Harry Wilson that has insane shooting, but not quite as good passing or dribbling? And it would just give more options, more usability for certain cards, especially in the early game before everyone conforms to the same sort of 30 to 40 player pool. I think this would be pretty cool. Next up, guys, we have got a couple of manager cards, actually. First of all, inform managers. So very simple, either EA's own choice of manager of the week or manager of the month. Give them an inform, and what it does is, instead of giving one chemistry like current managers do to people from the same nation or the same league, give 2 chemistry for people in the starting lineup to the same nation and the same league. So for Guardiola, he would obviously give 2 to Spaniards and 2 to Premier League players. What this again allows is it allows a bit more creativity in squad building, because you can use players a little bit further off chemistry. You could integrate different players and better players and start building towards what, in my opinion, Ultimate Team should be about, is building a team that you want, and not be like, oh, I want to use such and such player, but if I put him in the team, he gets no chemistry, so his stats are terrible, so I don't want to use him. I want EA to find ways to allow us to actually use players regularly, like Tawamba's Team of the Season card last year. Absolutely brilliant card that I think you would have seen a lot if he was just easy to link. And because you can't, people don't use him. So people always stay to the major leagues and the major nations because it's just way, way easier. So an inform manager would really help with that. But also one thing that I think would be amazing is icon managers. So Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Unai Emery, you know, all the kind of icon managers, they give +2 chemistry to everybody. Doesn't matter what league, what nation, and it doesn't even matter if they're on the starting lineup or the bench. Right now, players on the bench get what is equivalent to 5 chemistry. So if you had an icon manager, everyone on your bench just gets that +2 chem boost, and it just makes, again, subs a little more relevant, because right now, if you have, say, for example, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's 88 rated base card in FIFA, and you've got a team with 100 chemistry and you give him 5 chemistry and you give him, say, the sniper chem style, he gets 1 in dribbling and 1 in shooting. If, however, that's boosted to 7 chemistry, he gets 4 in dribbling and 4 in shooting. So it just makes players off the bench far more usable. And it once again allows you to be more creative with your entire team, because you're never going to have a team full of 11 players that none of them link to each other. You're always going to get a soft link here or there, same league or same nation here or there. But let's say you had pretty much a full Premier League team and you didn't have any Brazilian players, but you packed Team of the Season Alex Telles. And you're just like, well, this is pretty useless. I can't fit him into my team. Or now, if you put him in left back, he'd just get 4 chemistry. Then with Alex Ferguson as manager, he'd go up to 6 chemistry. So actually, now Alex Telles on 6 chem, he gets a small boost with an anchor chem style, a small boost in pace, a good boost in defending, and a good boost in physical. Opposed to 10 chem, where he gets a great boost in pace, a great boost in defending, and a great boost in physical. It makes him usable without linking to anybody, which I think would, again, really enhance squad building. I think it would make squad building fun, and you would come up against teams where you're like, oh, well, those players, oh, he has an icon manager. That makes more sense. Now I understand why he's using Enderveer, Robin Van Persie, linking to nobody. For me, it would just make squad building so much more enjoyable. And last but not least, guys, we have got Powerup cards. So these work in a similar fashion to the Virtual Pro cards and a similar fashion to the Evo cards. The difference is they are released throughout the course of the year as SBCs and are upgraded via seasonal objectives and milestones, and can be anybody. So we've got obviously Vinicius Jr. here, a 78 rated left wing. Let's say he's month 1's power up card, and he has a maximum power up of, say, 91. So you can get him from a 78 to a 91. But unlike the Virtual Pro and unlike the Evo cards, you don't have to wait each month to power these up. You can power these up as quick as you play the game. So the difference would be is that they would be capped at a highish rating, so that you know, whereas the Evo card, you would essentially be able to get it late game and long term to a 95 or a 96, and the same for your Virtual Pro. Over the course of the game cycle, you'll be able to get them up to a 95 or a 96 rated card, specifically back towards the back end. With the power-up cards, they will have a maximum cap. So month one's power-up card is Vinicius Jr. He's 78 rated base card. He gets a power-up maximum to a 90 rated. So even if the power-up objective is play 400 games, as quick as you can play 400 games, that's a lot of games. 100 games a week, a lot of games. Let's say play 200 games or 250 games. You've got a whole month to complete the power-up, or you can complete the power-up over the course of 3 months if you wanted to. And it would be awesome if EA released like a batch of 4 or 5 power-ups all at once. So month one, you'd have, say, Vinicius Jr. And then let's also take a look at Guendouzi and also Trent Alexander-Arnold and a couple more. And the way to improve those power-ups is not just from playing games and scoring goals and so on, but also, you know, win 10 games with Vinicius Jr. in a full Brazilian team, maximum overall 80 rated. So now you've got to build a Brazilian team to play with him to get one of his power-up boosts. And the same with Trent, and the same with Guendouzi. For Guendouzi, it might be win 5 games in a full Arsenal starting lineup and reserves to get a +2 overall. And so it's like, okay, now I have to go and build an Arsenal squad. And again, what it creates is it creates a need and a want to build fun and different squads to get the boost for these cards, so that you can then utilize them in your main sweaty try-hard squad, but you can have fun with them in the squads that you're trying to build around them. You know, for Trent Alexander-Arnold, it might be, you know, score 15 goals with English players, you know, maximum rated 83 for the team. And so you might come up against somebody working towards their Vinicius Jr. card. You might come up against somebody working towards their Guendouzi card. You might be working with on your own cards. You might be trying to work on 2 at once. So, you know, scoring 15 goals with English players, maximum over 83 rated, you could probably put in, well, you couldn't really. You couldn't do them together. But it would be so much fun to have all these cool squad building opportunities to build these cards. And, you know, Guendouzi, they could cap him out at 85. Trent Alexander-Arnold, they could cap him out at 88. So yeah, if you get this power up, once he hits 88, you just can't boost him anymore. So eventually he's going to get surpassed by next month's power up cards, or an inform Kyle Walker or an inform João Cancelo is now going to have surpassed that power up card. But you complete the power up cards via an SBC. And I just think, honestly, it's something I think would be absolutely amazing for FIFA and FIFA Ultimate Team. I hope EA do something with improving and boosting stats on cards this year. I think it will be a big win for them. I think it will get the community super engaged in the game. But that is it, guys. There are the 10 card types that I hope to see in FIFA 20. Would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this video. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.